So, Miss Green, so today you want to tell us about the heart. Very interesting topic. And I thought when I was considering the topic of today's talk, I was thinking I wanted to share, finally it's come the moment to share a very special mantra that I've learned many years ago, and I try to practice since as my meditation, and then I will explain later why I'm choosing this mantra. So
looking forward to it.
Please let us go into this topic deeply.
The heart is a fist-sized muscle that pumps the blood all over the body. It beats around 100,000 times a day, and it rests on diaphragm pointing to the left. So, you might be wondering, what is blood? And why is blood so important?
What is blood and why is blood so important?
That's the question. So, blood is a fluid type of connective tissues. It is composed of plasma and cells, and it plays a very important role of transporting oxygen, carbon dioxide, nutrients, vitamins, hormones, wastes. It also balances our pH and temperature, and it contains compounds such as clotting and immune functions.
Can I ask, why is blood red?
A very good question. The blood is red because of the interaction of iron and oxygen. For example, if you were going to analyze a blood of a person who is iron deficient, you could see that the blood cells are not so red anymore. Paler they are. So as sometimes you can also see a person who is anemic, who's got iron deficiency anemia, you can see the skin is pale because of lack of that iron.
Okay.
That's the reason.
Interesting, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, going back to the muscle, heart is an involuntary muscle and is orthorhythmic, which means it can set out its own rhythm of contractions. It really appears that the heart has its own brain and intelligence built in. And I personally think, and this can be debatable, that the heart is the most important organ in our body because, as you can see, it transports this oxygenated blood which is distributed all over the body. So imagine if your brain doesn't receive oxygen, what will happen? Your brain cells will start to die. So heart is very important muscle, and it's very important to look after your health and after your heart.
I tend to think the brain, it's I don't know if the most important, but if your brain is dead, however, brain and heart, they seem pretty, and the stomach. I mean, I don't know if it's so hard to say because it's so interconnected in a way.
They are.
And of course, the heart, if your brain dead, your heart can still work.
Exactly. Another thing, did you know, if you pull someone's heart out of their chest, their heart will still be beating?
Do not try this at home, and we don't want you to do that as an experiment, but it's an interesting visual image we just got.
It's just to give an example that the heart has its own brain. It doesn't depend on your mind or the brain function. So it's fine, we can open this for a debate. Please let us know, which organ do you think is the most important in our machine?
Which is your favorite organ?
Yes!
In your body, and why?
Yeah! Please tell us. So, just a little bit about how the blood circulates. So, I don't know if you can clearly see, but this is our heart muscle. How the blood flows through our heart muscle. So, the blue area is where the blood is deoxygenated. So this is the blood with no oxygen. So it's really interesting because then it enters here, It goes all the way there, and there it exits through left pulmonary arteries where it goes to lungs. And then when the blood is oxygenated, then it returns from the lungs via left pulmonary veins, and it goes all the way to these red areas, and it goes here, trunk, all the way to aorta. And then it's from aorta where the blood is being distributed all over the body to each organ.
Wow. Very interesting.
It is very interesting indeed, and very complicated to understand.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not studying biomedicine. It's already very complicated, but very interesting. Thank you, Miss Green.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to go straight into the beyond part, and I hope it makes sense how I landed in this part. I was considering there is over 500 years ago a very special personality walked upon the earth. His name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is known as the inaugurator of the Sankirtana movement. And that means, if you ever seen the Hare Krishnas chanting on the streets in London, it's a very famous sight, especially if you're in Oxford Street, Oxford Circus, that area, you will see a big group of smiley, happy faces chanting and dancing to the rhythm of drums, cymbals, and different instruments like that. Very nice. And so this was inaugurated publicly, like we know it today, over 500 years ago. And Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came with the mission to give the secrets of devotional service, how to achieve love in the heart, and how to develop, awaken, and find real love in the heart, and where to deposit that love. And he's given many instructions to his disciples and friends and followers, but only written 8 verses known as the Shikshastakam prayers, which talk about the glories of chanting this mantra I was referring to earlier on. And the very first line of the Shikshastaka prayer is Cheto Darpana Marjanam, which means it refers to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the great mantra for deliverance, as the way of cleaning the mirror of the heart. That is a very beautiful image. And that appears here in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, hence my putting it up there, a book that you should read before you quit your body. Anyway, and in the ancient yoga text, we always talk about the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, tells his devotee and friend, his disciple and friend Arjuna, he says, I am situated in everyone's heart. And so I was thinking about the topic of today and the Shikshastakam and what Krishna says, and my own practice of chanting and singing this mantra for a considerable amount of time. And I was thinking, as we vibrate this mantra, which goes Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As you vibrate this special 3 words put in a formula type of setting, you're cleaning your own heart. And as this happens, you can start to see clearly things as they are, and you can start to perceive Krishna, which is situated in the heart.
I have a question.
Yes, Miss Green?
How do we know and why do we come with dirty hearts? How does this happen?
Okay, so we don't come with dirty heart. Our constitution is Satchitananda, which means we are made of knowledge, eternity, and bliss. That is what we are. The Atma, the soul, the energy that pervades the human machine, is uncontaminated. It's of the same quality as God. And God is that is made of, his body is made of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. So when we enter, it is described in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, the size of the Atma or the soul is 10,000th of a tip of a hair. Tiny, tiny. And we are called marginal energy, meaning we are situated, we can be either in the spiritual realm or in the material realm, kind of one way or the other. We're kind of on the margins of the spiritual and the material, and so we can remain and thrive in the spiritual, but we can also get sucked in by the material energy. When we interact with the material energy, that's when the coverings come. And so in order to take a human machine, we also take not just the gross body where we can touch and perceive, but also the subtle body. So these are all coverings that we get in. So we are this tiny little particle of potent existence, eternality, all knowledge and all bliss, and then we get the mind, intelligence, false ego, false identification with what is surrounds us. Then the different layers of from I'm not expert at this, but from blood to bone, skin, muscle, all the things that cover and make the body. And so we start to interact with those things, and that is considered that our consciousness is polluted or distorted, dirty in a way, in the sense like we're just identifying with temporary decaying things which are not even have anything to do with our existence.
So we basically need to wash ourselves,
yes,
and it's like peeling the onions, one layer, second layer.
Yes, I often use that imagery myself, and it's what we do with different yoga systems is to peel the layers that are so unnecessary or troublesome or irrelevant to our eternal existence. Remove the distractions and the sufferings and the temporary things which are not the end of the aim of life.
Thank you. That's a very nice explanation. So let's begin cleaning our heart now.
Okay, please kindly for the next 15 seconds listen with TLC. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And remember, you are not this body.